Hello and welcome back to another episode of Test Don't Guess Tuesday. I'm Melissa Hall-Klopacki, a functional gut health expert. I work with men and women who are constipated around the country to take them from constipation to liberation by understanding the root causes. And one of the ways we best understand what's driving the constipation is to test. We do the GI map test. It's pretty simple. A test comes to your house, a test kit. You poop into a container, mix it up together, and send it back via FedEx. In about 2 weeks, your test results come back. I'm going to share with you today a client's results. Just so you know, the name has been redacted. This client's anonymity is being protected as always. But I want to show you how impactful and powerful these test results can be when you understand what's driving your stomach pain, your constipation, your diarrhea, your bloatedness, all of that. When you understand what's driving it, we can finally fix it instead of guessing. Hence why we say test, don't guess. So I'm going to share with you the results of a client and take you through the treatment protocol and what we did to heal her. Okay, these results tell the story of my 38-year-old patient who was the mother of two twin boys who were about 5 years old. She had had a rather difficult pregnancy at the age of 33, delivered both boys vaginally, and then reported that ever since that pregnancy, she has been constipated, has tried everything under the sun, every product on the market, and just had no relief. So, and her constipation type was she would go every couple of days. So, and when she would go, she would have generally a very hard stool. And if she was lucky, it would be followed by a lot of diarrhea, that really loose stool that comes with that constipation diarrhea alternating version. So we take a look here at her GI map. This is the first page. I rarely, if you know me, catch parasites here. However, she had been traveling in Mexico a few months before that. She actually did say she came back with some traveler's diarrhea. This very well could be the result of that, just still working its way through her system. I didn't really think that this was necessary to deal with immediately, so we're going to come back to that. The next section is the intestinal health markers, and you'll notice here the two things that are in the red are the elastase and the secretory IgA. The elastase is telling me she does not have enough digestive enzyme to get the job done. So she's got poor digestion, and that is affecting the constipation. When your food is not breaking down in your stomach and tries to break down without the stomach acid as it's going through your intestine, it slows your intestinal transit time. Making constipation very difficult. And as that stool sits in the intestine, the water gets sucked out of the stool, leaving you with that dry, hard stool. So we're definitely going to address that elastase deficiency. And if we look at the secretory IgA, that's telling me in her immune response, right? Her immune system has taken a hit. Due to whatever's going on, sort of probably latent infections. So we are going to make sure that whatever we do, we're aware that something is brewing and we want to handle it. Page 2 here talks about opportunistic and overgrowth microbes. And as you can imagine, when you don't have enough stomach acid, and we are constantly taking in foods that are full of bacteria, good and bad, right? Especially when we're not washing vegetables or we don't know who's handling our food before we put it in our mouth. High Pseudomonas and high staph here, again, should be addressed. I will take a look at something that will be a general killer of these bad guys as we get into a protocol for her. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll notice also here that's high, the candida level, and that's significantly high. And she does have some recurrent 2 or 3 times a year. She will get a yeast infection. I don't believe she has any thrush in her mouth. That's another big symptom that we look at. But a lot of times high candida levels can go undiagnosed. So we catch it here, and we want to make sure that whatever we're giving her is actually going to have an effect on that candida as well. That said, we all have a little bit of candida in our system. And it's there for a reason. So with her having a high candida level, I want to take a look with her on the side, right? We are focused here on constipation, but I want to take some time to talk with this patient about her toxin intake, because I find that when people are very toxic, and whether that's coming from the air you're breathing, the food you're eating, alcohol you're drinking, drugs you're taking, whatever it might be, and just environmental toxins, we tend to have a higher level of candida because the body creates that candida in response to all of those toxins. So that is something that I also will cover. And that's another great point, is that when we are talking about constipation, we are not just talking about the digestive system and pooping. We always, me and my private clients, discuss the foundations of health, how we're sleeping, how we're eating, how we're hydrating, how we're moving, and what we're doing up here. All of those play a role in the digestive system and constipation. If you've heard of the gut-brain axis, right, there's a direct connection there. So when we talk about candida, we'll talk about toxins with her as well. This page of the GI map talks about H. pylori, and you can see that there is a little H. pylori present. That is a bacteria that is infecting the lining of the stomach. It's, if you think about the movies of the 80s when those guys on Wall Street were popping Tums and bending over in stomach pain, it's actually caused by this bacteria, H. pylori. So she doesn't have any symptoms. It doesn't seem to be too high. And again, I would make sure that whatever I'm using as a general antibacterial herb or herbal blend would also have a good effect on this H. pylori. If we take a look below that here at the commensal or keystone bacteria, remember these are the guys that we know we need in our system. They all have different jobs, different roles in the gut. Here you'll notice that her Enterococcus and her Akkermansia are low. The Akkermansia being almost right, not recognizable. It's below the detectable limit. Akkermansia can be replaced. Pendulum makes a great product. I think I might have it on my shelf to show you. Maybe not, but I've taken it before. A really great probiotic that makes its way all the way into the intestines where it lays down. So you can take that, and that was recommended for her, as well as a general good high dose probiotic here to help replace that Enterococcus and just beef these numbers up a little bit. When we see things like Pseudomonas, right on the previous page, all those bad guys getting out of balance, generally it's also because we don't have enough of the good guys. Her diet definitely needed work. She was a mom of two 5-year-old boys and was finding herself eating kid food more than not, which meant things like French fries and chicken nuggets, which are really void in fiber. We talked a lot about getting 30 different fruits and vegetables each week, making it a game with her kids, making a list and leaving it on the fridge or the counter. Again, something I talk about with all of my clients, but making sure we're getting fiber as we start to restore that bowel regularity is just so important. And this is the pathogen page for the GI map. I want to remind you that I rarely see this page light up unless my clients are coming for an extended diarrhea or blowout diarrhea with some constipation. These are the bugs that generally will cause looser stools. And because I work mostly with people with constipation, I don't see too much of this. Though sometimes it'll pick up an old infection or some like Giardia people might have at a low level. So that is the GI map. What did we do with this client? We put her on the biocidin protocol. Biocidin is a blend of herbs that are antibacterial. They also have an olive leaf supplement that she went on as well, a GI detox, which is a binder. Remember, anytime you're killing something in your body, you want to use a binder, which is generally a very negatively charged substance like a clay or a charcoal that will pick up those positively charged ions as they get out of your body, right? Those toxins. So the olive leaf, the biocidin, and the GI detox were used. We did use some magnesium citrate along with adding fiber into her diet at the very beginning. Once her bowels were regular, we used the sun fiber. It looks like this. You can buy it over on Fullscript. It is a invisible fiber that melts right into a tea or a coffee in the morning. It adds about 5 grams of fiber per scoop, and that's a great way to start. You don't want to start adding fiber too quickly. So we started with a little sun fiber as she made the changes to her family's diet to get more fiber in. So it took about 3 months to turn everything around. Was feeling much better, not constipated, moving her bowels regularly after we went through the protocol. So that is why we test and don't guess. It helps us to build a better, safer, more individualized protocol for you. If you're interested in taking this test, please head to digestivediscovery.com. That's my portal for you that provides education as well as direct access to that lab test. It's $425. You fill out the information online and you will be sent a kit. And then if you have questions about your results, there's a whole bunch of education there in the portal, or you can always schedule an appointment with me. So thank you for joining me again for this week's Test Don't Guess Tuesday. Again, I'm Melissa Hall-Klopacki, your functional gut health expert. We'll see you next week.